What's up, everybody? It is JOSHTHEJSYSTEM here. Welcome back to more WWE Supercard, specifically in the campaign. Now, I want y'all to take a very good, hard look at something here. It's right in front of you. It's at the bottom of the screen. It is the number 494, which is telling you how many cards I have. Currently, I am in a situation where I cannot do a darn thing about this. So, until I can make an adjusted, until I gotten all my cards ready from pretty much straight until the next Raw, which is ironically won't be for a couple days. I won't be able to do anything. Fun times are ahead of us. Now, number 25 is there. The number has gone up a little bit since the last time I have done a video. That is because I've live streamed, and I do live stream every day on Twitch. I try to, at least. I'm trying to get a very good amount going with that, and it's been going pretty well. So we're going to start clobbering our way through. If, for whatever reason, we come into any sort of a hiccup, we'll handle it as such. Now, on to what we're here for, the main event. The campaign. We're on number 29, and you better believe stuff's about to hit the fan. Everything is about to get a lot harder. And if you don't think it is, just wait. My deck seems like it's handling it. It's not going to handle it for much longer, because even I know I'm not going to be foolish. I do not have delusions of grandeur. I am not stupid. I am not crazy. I cannot sit here and expect myself to say, oh, well, this is clearly going to be easy. Because once we cross number 42 is when stuff's going to get wild. Because that's the match number in which we're going to cross into WrestleMania 42 territory. And take a very good guess as to what my lowest tier is in all my cards. WrestleMania 42. So once we start hitting it, where we're suffering those losses, is when we'll start taking a good hard look at that. I'll start seeing where things head to when we get there. I will attempt to the best of my abilities to keep everything going strong. We don't know where things will end up. So when we get to where we need to, everything will fly as such. We just need to have it go. So any loss we have that we get hit with, I'm going to be up. That's us for that right now. So we're ready. So I got it off to the side here, so I'm ready. If anything, we gotta tap this forward and then change that number to anything at any time, because it will change in real time if we take a loss. So in case you're new to the channel, you don't understand how the losses will apply. The losses will apply if I do not get 3 stars. So if I don't get 3 stars, then, well, it's a loss. So if we cannot progress, it's a loss. It's just as simple as that. We took a loss back in Countdown. I would say it was like 2 videos ago that I believe that loss was recorded right near the end of it. Also, as always, as you guys always know, the shout out rule is still in effect, so I will be going through once again today to double check to see if anybody has called out any of the Immortals cards usage, like I said, as long as it's not a 6-card match. So if you call it out and it's a 6-card match, I will respond and be like, unfortunately, no, that's a 6-card match. Or I will respond to you and be like, okay, yes, you got it. That match is now officially, as far as you're concerned, that match can no longer be redeemed. Because I'll pay attention for those cards. For that person, for each, so I'll be paying attention and like writing down, okay, this person redeemed it on this, so that way when I do the shout outs, so this way it gives you this gives everybody ample amount of time to do the shout outs, and that way there are multiple ones. That's why kind of, at times I tend to go very fast during the videos. It's the main reason why. So now the question might come up as to why my deck is so overbearing, where it's at the point where I don't have any room. And it's because at one point on Friday, I did what essentially was not a smart move. I was trying to claim one of the Road to Immortality titles. I believe it was the Women's United States, and that did not go well. And I'm at the juncture now where I only have one other woman card I can actually pro at the moment. There are other cards I can work on, obviously, but there's only one I can pro at the moment. So this juncture, it could turn to just where I would have to go, oh, well, I will have another one to work on probably by the end of today, maybe 2 to work on really, depending on what Rhea's Riptide goes towards, but currently I do not have that, so that's just, currently it's just Raquel. It is just my WrestleMania 42. I already have one done, fully fortified. I got a second one where it just went, so like, oh, here you go, back to back, 2 of them. But currently those 2 aren't going to really be done much with. More so right now, Scott Steiner's kind of being like my go-to guy for my right heroes right now, I'd imagine. We'll see how far we get, see who's our most used card. And then we'll go from there. We're trying to, in terms of like what can be used, like, just my deck in general has just been crazy, and if I wanted to, I probably could toss the other Earthquake in just to get him done, but I don't think we're in that situation yet where I have to start getting these other cards pro'd. Like, there's a 3, is it a 3 or is it a 4-part? So I would consider it a 3-part situation, where it's first, it's getting all my cards, all their matches done. The second part is getting all their abilities done. So if you're unfamiliar with the abilities are, it's referring to like, oh, it's whatever they need. Like say for Scott Steiner, for example, it's his boom matches, or it's Rhea Ripley, it's King of the Ring, or with Chelsea Green, it's also King of the Ring. Like those are the abilities. The third would be proing them if necessary. And then the fourth, obviously, well, actually there's a fifth, really. The fourth would be adding equipment, and then the fifth and final piece to the puzzle is adding the PvP momentum boosters, which I tend to avoid adding right away. And there's a very good reason for it. So for some, and I know people immediately like jump at me and be like, oh, you should use your momentum booster, this and that. And it's like, I don't think that would even be smart because he would still need to be worked on. So let's not do that. Something else I need to be. I jumped out because out of instinct, because I know I still have. I was initially going to change Austin over to the Roman Reigns card because I do have that too, but to work on that right now would be kind of silly at the moment because it's still going to be an Immortals card because actually it'd probably be a very big step down at the moment. So currently Austin is my go-to unless absolutely where I have to change things up. And eventually I would like to get the other Immortals cards just one after another, just using my in-game credits. Like obviously week after week I could. Or use some of the in-game events, just let them sort of play out very well. See where it's at. I'm seeing that final play, and that's Tribal Chief. Oh boy, that's going to be interesting when we have to deal with that problem. Because we cross that, because like I said, we cross that threshold. That might be a huge. It could be a big step in stats, and it may not be. And if you have noticed, Asuka is Fortification 3, and I still got a little bit of time, so there's plenty of time to turn EO into at least a pro. So my goal is to hopefully get EO Sky into something special, and hopefully have her as a Fortification 3, because then having 2 of that would be nice. But at this juncture, there's only going to be, once I get that going, depending on how many I can get off the draft board and how frequently I can force the game to give me 24/7 bounce, and then just hopefully I can make it happen. So getting it to 100 is going to be the toughest challenge to date. In terms of that, really want the other toughest challenge to date, it's going to be doing this. There's something else to do. Something's not right. It can't be right. How do I already have something's sitting in my inventory here that shouldn't be there. I should have 6, or I should have 8 spots. What's going on? Maybe. Yeah, I guess I don't. It's not enough, not yet. Thought I did it. Must have been. I must have had it where there was a certain amount that I had, and I overthought the process of thinking, oh, this is what I have. No, it's not what you have, because you probably have an extra card or 2 that are sitting in there now. I think it's safe to assume that any further WrestleMania 42 cards are off too. I'm gonna avoid them unless they're cards that I can fortify. Unless they're supports. Supports aren't really gonna hurt me in the long run. Hopefully. You're unlucky. It was not lucky. until the end before I do there's something to wait until the end of the drafts before I do what I'm going to do. Then we got to step into the store for this for the next part. All right, now we went mad with 6 tokens. I was paying attention to how many I was getting. It was just at one point I wasn't even counting, and then I was just like, oh, well, we got to pay attention a little bit. And just getting them one after another. I was just like, oh, okay, well, maybe I need to just wait until the end of this. It felt kind of anticlimactic to do it until I made it to the end. Right now, we're kind of just facing the six per is becoming a big time situation. I'm really hoping I'm going to draw a heck of a lot more of the gas cans for the Ria's Riptide, because that's going to be necessary. So a lot of so whichever game I need to do more of will be useful. I mean, everybody, I mean, there's always going to be that one card you're always getting multiples of, and right now, oh, I didn't even mention it when I hit the exclusive board. If I would have pulled Dusty or Kyrie, that would have been great for a finish. I didn't get either one, true, but it would have been nice to pull one of them. I feel like I'm going to get one or the other at some point. It's just a matter of time. I mean, if we can pull off getting Jeff Hardy off the exclusive board at some point, one of them is going to happen. The only fear I have is if that does happen, is that it's going to happen at the very end of the video. So I don't have to necessarily worry about how many draft picks I just limited myself to, because that can eliminate 2 more draft picks. I really would prefer that not to be the case. But I do know we're rolling up onto another exclusive pick at some point, so. And we're going to get there, and it's just going to be that. It's just gonna, and it's just something that has to be dealt with as it comes, and there's nothing that can be done about it. So it's a matter of, oh, okay, this is what we got to do. Let's handle it that way. And so it's a rather interesting way that I'm handling it. Is I want to grab the rewards that I get from every 7 of the matches. So every 21 stars it is. Helps out, but at the same time, it's like, okay, every one of them is going to help, but how much of that's really going to help? So the only problem is now is it's coming down to a fact of, okay, now this is where we're at, and this is what I need, and nothing's really stepping out of the limelight to help me reach that goal, and the goal is getting a lot more difficult to hit. Whereas now, obviously, there are extra factors to there are many factors we have to put into account when we're doing this, and now we're getting to that point where obviously there were other factors I had to consider, like I hadn't really mentioned, and now would be a great time to mention them. Is other factors is, okay, who is the best in these categories? Like despite the fact that you see what cards I have, who I have, who I don't have, and like you guys know, you guys can obviously see who I have. It's just a real particular amount of like, okay, here's who we have, who's who we don't have. I was fixing something really fast, so that's why I stopped speaking for a moment. Sorry about that. So it's a factor of, okay, who's top tier for this particular category? Okay, I know that. Now, what is my opponent's card being played at that time? Because that's what you want to pay attention to when it comes to camping. Okay, they're playing, let's say they're playing Roman Reigns. We know Roman Reigns is power and toughness. But how strong is Roman's power and toughness in terms of my opponent's card? And then matching that with what I have. Because I can always run, let's say it goes toughness. Okay, I have to run Roman Reigns. Let's say I run my Stone Cold against it, just to name a card. Like I'll give a good example here when we're going up against somebody, because I don't have everybody in the deck that's obviously the best in the category. Like obviously, so the obvious choice would be to say, go with Lash Legend because she's the best in this category. Only because it's the first round. Let's see what our opponent plays. Now we know that was safe. Now let's say the second round is Charisma, which it was. Well, Naya's Charisma is top notch. I have nothing to worry about that. So I was safe. Now we get here and things get a little particular. Over the last round, okay, they played tables. Now I want to make sure that, okay, their power wasn't that overwhelming, so we're good. But knowing if they played that table, okay, so they played the table, there's nothing I can change for the Naya or Lash. So now I can adjust whatever my support was to make it where my guys could handle that last match, knowing my opponent plays support on the last match. And that's kind of how you want to start handling campaign once you're reaching that point. Now, knowing what I know, I'm going to go Earthquake. Now I can hear you guys, now I can see people might want to say, oh, well, isn't Scott Steiner better in the category? Yes, but you also have to consider the power aspect. And I need Scott Steiner for that. And because I could very easily put the equipment back on Earthquake, I did not, because I've been throwing him, and that's just going to make things a little easier. Oh, that made things so much easier because that's not near the toughness I needed for the last match. Wonder who our first card's going to be in this situation. Our next opponent. Interesting who it's going to be. Oof. Well, we'll go Big Papa Pump to start. And your toughness gets technically anybody in this match but our truth. It was interesting who I'm facing though, because obviously who it said my opponent was Lash Legend. And it's Nia Jax sending her against me. Yeah, I don't think I'll be in too much trouble. I don't think Lash has that much in speed. Starting to see it relative to 1 million now. That's starting to get a little the feistiness is showing. Should be running into the walls shortly. It's not yet, but we're getting there. Let's see what we got here now. Alright, we got Charisma. So let's go Quake and Gunter. Despite that, they're still pretty stellar in Charisma. Okay, I've got nothing to worry about. I just saw my opponent play their support, so. Okay, Steiner. Toughness. We go better. Boom! We get a limited edition combo. That's the way to do it. What we got? That's what I thought. Now comes the fun part of doing this, which is always a pleasure. Use that for tonight. Four more would be great. Actually, getting them like a whole lot of the tokens like back to back would be amazing. Okay, you're being too kind to me, game. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's starting to worry me. Token to start. Oh, you are so evil for that. It knew I wouldn't get rid of the Roxanne, knowing full well she would be a card I'd work on. Great. That just limited me more. That puts me at 495. So my best bet would probably be is to accept all the rewards from the campaign as soon as we get number 49. Main reason being is because number 49 is going to be the first one that's going to be WrestleMania 42. So there's a high probability we could get a female, and if it turns out to be Roxanne, that cleans up. Actually, it doesn't matter who it lands on. I'd hope it to be Gunter or Danhausen. Actually, more Gunter than Danhausen, because I don't have the Danhausen foil card done. So Gunter over the Danhausen just because of that. So we kind of got to hope for that being the case. But obviously anyone could help, maybe Roman Reigns too, I suppose, because knowing full well that he's on the horizon of being a pro, so if I got him, I could take 3 of the ones that aren't finished, throw them into him, and then that cleans up a little bit too. So I'm looking at it as being whoever I get as being a very big, I guess a coup is a good way of putting it, because it's a good way of clearing up whatever the problem is now, because seeing that every seven rings is going to be big for me. Just hopefully it's going to be people I'm waiting on cards for, even if they are if they're already pro'd, that's fine. The cards that I can know, okay, these cards I can just toss them right into these people. Heck, if it's Raquel, that's fine too, because that's another card I can just toss away right into it, and it's already done. I don't even have to work on it. Like I said, if I get Gunter, it's big. It's a big step. Because I can make a whole lot of magic happen with him. So please let it be the ring general. It is very hard for me to say it the way he says it, so the ring general. He like completely throws away the other G for ring general. Just give me the former 2-time world champion. All I need. Because that steps everything in the right direction, because all it does is replace because I think it'll give me 3 cards in that situation. All I need is 1 pro, because I've already got the foil card finished, so. Yeah, something about this though tells me that's not going to be what I'm gonna get. I'm like hoping for it, like I'm biting my tongue on it, like going, come on, let this be what I get. And at the same time, I know it's probably not going to be a good opener, but I know this is going to be the last round. Like, I have to throw something at it. Second round was charisma. I wasn't expecting that. Pretty sure one of them could have handled both of those cards with some support, just in case. Don't waste a super move, just waste a different. What you got? All right. We got three rewards to collect on. Let's see what we get. Nice. All right, here it comes. Not what I was expecting, however, not but not unwelcomed for obvious reasons. Let's discuss this big guy. So now, into 4 to 1. Technically got rid of 2 cards, so that was good. Now we'll go under recent. I was prepared for that to happen, so that wasn't exactly something that was unwelcomed. At this stage, I'm pretty certain at this stage, every single WrestleMania 42 card I'm gonna have to get as soon as it gives it to me. What? That really did nothing for me? Oh, right. That actually makes a whole lot more sense. Well, I'm going to clear the draft board prior. Card limit just never stops. The fact it gave me another one, and can't forget about them tokens. I got a few, but now that made things get a whole lot more interesting. I ain't got a clue who the next card's going to be. I feel like once we get through this part of the campaign is when I can start really looking at who can be dusted, because at this stage, actually, because I've never been in a World Heavyweight title one, I can't even say that. But by then, I would imagine I'd have more Leviathans. So I feel like that would be the go-to. That actually makes a whole lot more interesting now that I think about it. Just 1 second. I am thankful, though, we have not ran into any losses just yet, so I know, technically speaking, 56 is usually when the problems will arise. Let's throw you two together. I don't see the problem. I don't know why I did that. I just now realized why that was the wrong thing to do. But we're still good. There's like a good 200,000 to 300,000 difference. I did that, and it was kind of silly because they were the next one to be picked. Gotta remember, females get one match. Calling upon Lash Legend again? Interesting. We'll call upon Joe Hendry to start. Making sure he didn't appear. That should be fine. I mean, that's 1,500, but my females are a little OP, so Trish and Bree are kind of like the be-all end-alls for this. I'll be fine. The toughness might have been pushing the envelope a little bit, just a tad bit. The only way it becomes a problem, I feel like it'll become a problem, is if it gives me a female I've already pro'd and it's someone who's close to being fully fortified, and it turns, and that's the one it gives me, and then it's just like, oh yeah, here you go. See, if it gives me, if it either gives me Raquel, Julia, or Roxanne, we're good. Because all three have not, because all three have 2 cards sitting out. Whereas if I do it, it knocks 1 or 2 out. But like I said, if it gives me like Roman Reigns or Gunther, getting Gunther would be the best thing I could hope for. Because, real quick, let me see here. The next one should give me, never mind. I think it's this one that gives me the, no, really. This would be 56, 63, 70, 77, and this is going to be the 5-copy card. Okay. I guess we will not see anyone that's more than 2 cards in itself. Way to give me the category that would make Jake literally unstoppable. We have to go with this category. We have to go with that. I have to go with these 2. Ooh, we're gonna be... That was a close one. Should be the point where I should start playing more supports, but I was okay. So now I'm starting to get a little... starting to get a little nervous. Bring it on. Okay, again, let's not play the... Don't need to play the biggest and the baddest. Gonna test the waters. Perfect time to play Javon because obviously he was the next card to play. Because females were next, and they are just 4 million. 4 million points. I didn't pay attention to breathe. Proxy, I just knew that was a done deal. Woo! Okay. This should be relatively simple. I'm saying it now, this is going to be a 6. It's going to be the 6-card match. Considering the game just started off with the opening match was a tag match. Wow. Talk about calling it. Number 56 in the books. Nice. Here we go. Something good. Well, I mean, it's not bad because there's a lot of WrestleMania cards I don't have fully pro'd, so. Alright, next we'll do trainable and do this. I was gonna say that's not my only enhancement. That can't be. It's not bad. See, it's at the point now where I do have to do this because it's the only way I'm going to make any progress in trying to clean up my draft board. Because normally, obviously, I'd wait until the end of I'd obviously wait until like I was going to be finished. I'd go a little further along. I'd like wait till the end of the video before I do it, and if the problem is it's because in lieu of that, it's very difficult to do so. Because if I do that, it's going to cause it would cause a ripple effect of me not being able to. I would be sitting here at 6 every single time. Be like, oh, good, I have to sit here and keep doing the 6, whereas at least now I can do 7. Potentially the next time it'll be 8. Serious amount of gas and also got all my reveals, so I mean that's going to be I'm going to be sitting on cloud 9 with that. What we thinking? Got something left in me. All right, let's see what's about to go down. It's either going to be really good or really bad. Enough said. $13.02. So far, so good. I mean, I say that, but it's only the first match. I mean, that first set being speed, if I didn't have Eddie, I would have been in some serious trouble. Charisma. Again, these two. Their ankles are really lacking. At age, I might have been in a little bit of trouble there. Oh, we definitely got to slap that down. There's no other way around that. No googers are down there. Is right. He's a left or a right. Earthquake isn't an up because he'd be in here, so he's a right. What else do I have? Jeff Hardy's not in here. He's a right. Everyone else is just pros that I've been working on, so let's go Chelsea first, because I don't know what I'm going to come up against. Plus, she's like base stat, the best in speed. I mean, granted, I obviously know that all my cards are special editions / limited editions that are in there for the men. It's not that I'm not acknowledging that. It's the fact that I'm acknowledging the fact that it's a problem with that. Oof. Trusting you, Roman. Don't let me down. Boom. This could be bad. Or not. I oversaw it. Wow. Did he just tell me he's gonna sick Tamatanga on me? Sound like you said you're gonna sick Tamatanga on me. What's the last round? Ah, power. Let me just show you something. Bing, bang, boom, slam, right through the table. One more and we can put 63 to rest. And see what it gives us for the reward too. Absolutely not. We got a lot in charisma. I feel like this whole thing might be charisma only, so my deck might be fine. It's not, but I want the exact category for page. Actually, just did a whole 180 and went right back to charisma. A little bit more than that. I acknowledge you as my next victim. I had to go with that. It was my best move. I think it's going to be another case of 6. Maybe not. Speed should be fine, though. It's Chelsea. I'm pretty sure she'll do fine. 1501 is strong enough. Nice. All right, here we go. What'd you give me? Okay, that was a slap in the face. All I can do really is pro that. Honestly, both of them, really. Let's hit our supports. She practically matches Zelina at the moment in terms of power, because that's what she has. So I'm going to wrap it up here. We will continue in the next part, and we will, and most likely, for the most part, we should be at the wrapping up main event tier of campaign and moving straight away into the final section for the time being. I'm going to get the name of the final section right now, so we're good. We'll be moving into challengers sooner than later, so shouldn't take us too long. So if anything, maybe one more, maybe we might end up ending the next one on CM Punk, or maybe Ivy, who knows. But anyway, thank you to everybody who stopped by to watch. I appreciate it. If you are enjoying the content I am putting out here, you can leave a like, a comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Now then, right up here, I'm going to try to lean over enough so you guys can see, is my most viewed video. You can check that out. And I'm trying to get it. This is very difficult sometimes. And right over here is my most recent video. You can check that out. Maybe you're watching these out of order. That's your choice if you want to. It's up to you. They'll be, but those will be there. And I will catch you guys soon. Be good to each other. This is Josh the J System signing out. Take care, everyone. Have a good night.